Hey everybody, this is After the Session. My name is Christian Cummings. Thank you for tuning in. I am really looking forward to the next couple of days of my life. I am about to hop on an airplane and fly to Canada and work at a studio called Planet Studios. It's a studio I've never been to. I don't think I've never done a session in Canada, so this will be a new experience for me. And I'm really looking forward to it. And you may ask why? Well, the studio itself is going to be a badass studio, so that never hurts. But more importantly, I'm working with people I really like. And I feel like when that's the case, it makes the experience so much more fulfilling and enjoyable. And I don't know, it just makes me happy and content. Helps me become more content. So anyways, I'm going to be giving you today what I'm calling in-betweeners. I made up that name about 10 minutes ago, in between. So this is an in-betweeners episode. I haven't had time to put together another one for you. So what this is a couple of days ago, me and Pat here from San Diego sat down in the studio after a long day of work for both of us and just BS'd for about 15 or 20 minutes. And I think it's pretty enjoyable. I enjoy talking to him and hanging out and just, talking about gear and lives and existence. So enjoy my first attempt at in-betweeners number one, we're going to call it. And I'll probably change that name here in the next 20 minutes. So don't be surprised if it's labeled differently. That's it. Hope you guys have a great week. Enjoy. One of those comes up, we'll just do a different one. Hey everybody, this is Christian Cummings and you're listening to After the Session. I'm sitting across the table here from my buddy Patrick Heaney.
Hi.
At Patrick Heaney on Instagram.
At Patrick Heaney.
I'm at christian.m.cummings. Dude, I want to talk today about what a recording studio is and what a recording studio maybe isn't. So I guess the question is, what is a recording studio? Before we get into that, though.
It's pretty dark.
Is it?
I mean, it's.
Is it long and dark? Do you want to pick another one?
No, I like this one.
We're back
really
to the
like
Hypertheticals by Chuck Klosterman here.
It's called The Countdown.
Okay.
You ready for it?
I think so.
You're presented with a strange challenge. Someone dares you to count backwards from 300 to 0. If you succeed at this simple request, you will be given $25,000 in cash. However, if you misspeak, get any digit incorrect, or make any mistake whatsoever, you will immediately be doused with gasoline and burned alive.
Okay.
Do you attempt this challenge?
What was the monetary figure there? I'm not sure it's relevant, but
300 to 0?
No, how much money?
Much money? Oh, 25 grand in cash.
No way.
Not a whole lot of it. 25 grand doesn't go a whole.
But you know what?
Very far.
Well, but you think, yeah, I mean, you can count down from 300 to 0. But what if, like, I don't know, you get a cramp in your leg?
I mean,
or what if, like, you cough?
Which has been your problem.
Yes, it has.
I would not take on the challenge if I were you.
But here I'm gonna flip it back on you. What if it was like $2 million? Let's say $10 million.
I don't want to be burned alive.
So $10 million.
And then you also have to think, like, what if they give you like a couple weeks to prepare?
Okay, let's assume they do. I would still say no, personally.
I would have to say no.
Because
you'd be
death
so
by
nervous.
Fire would be shitty.
You would be so nervous that someone would douse you in gasoline immediately and burn you alive.
But see, right? Like, but here's the thing: 999 times out of 1,000, you're going to be just fine, probably.
Oh yeah,
right. But it still isn't worth it.
No, it sounds so painful.
Okay, now that we figured that out. I want to ask you.
A recording studio.
Yes, so transitioning from that. No, I really did want to ask you your opinion on this. To you, what is a recording studio? What do you think, Pat?
I think places that are acoustically treated.
Right.
I wouldn't say are recording studios. I think they're project studios. acoustically engineered rooms, I would consider a recording studio.
Okay. So, because one thing you probably hear a lot, and I hear a lot as well, is like, oh, I have a recording studio at my house, which is usually, or is often, a computer and interface and a couple of microphones, right? And to that, I would say, well, that's gear.
Yeah.
That's not a studio. The studio would actually be the room in which you're putting your gear.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess technically you could call your third room a recording studio if you have a microphone in it, right? But to me, I see where we're standing now, which is at Signature Sound in the A room here. This is it's been Signature for 26 years and something else prior to that. And I call this now a traditional recording studio.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So what would you consider like Phaser Control?
I still consider that a recording studio.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's a really expensive built room.
I consider that a traditional recording studio.
Yeah. The only difference, I mean, we have a huge room and it's made for recording. It's a gorgeous place.
Yeah. Lots of wood.
Yeah, a lot of wood. The only thing that sets us apart is the way that I designed the gear. And I decided not to go with a console. I did straight all outboard.
Right.
But I mean, we're running a lot of the exact same equipment. I'm running API, you're running API, you just have faders.
Well, I would disagree with you a little bit on that, but we're standing in front of an API 1608 32 channel split console.
Joke. It's a joke.
All right. I got lots of op amps right there
but yeah, it is a traditional recording studio because it is acoustically engineered by a professional who flew in from New York and actually drew up the room. It's not just we didn't throw up a couple bass traps and hope for the best.
Okay, so if we label this a traditional recording studio and that a traditional recording studio and Avatar a traditional recording studio and Capital a traditional recording studio, what then constitutes just a recording studio? So like if I have a recording studio at my house, what is that? I don't know.
I don't know. Like
I think the main gripe I have is just people saying I have a Focusrite interface and a laptop, so therefore I have a recording studio. I think that's not a recording studio, and that's what one little pet peeve I have. That in itself is just gear.
Yeah.
The studio is the
exactly.
space.
My old house.
It doesn't have to be a good space. It could be a total piece of shit space.
Yeah. At my old house, I had, 4 1176s with Pro Tools HD, a C24 Genelex, and that was in an extra bedroom that I had.
Yeah.
I still wouldn't record there.
Right.
I wouldn't
but you know what? You could call it a recording studio.
Like, it's cool to do demos.
I'm not trying to sound like elitist or some shit. Like you can have a 57 and a Digi 002 and Pro Tools 7 and have it in a nice little space at your house, and that can be a recording studio. Your little recording studio at home, and that's fine.
But I don't take clients there and go check out my recording studio.
I get that, but
it's $50
I guess what I'm
an
getting
hour.
to, and I'm just figuring out right now, is that I just don't think that the gear itself is a recording studio.
No, you can have nice stuff.
So you'll go on Craigslist and someone will be like, "I'm selling my recording studio," and it's their Logic and like their Mac and
like a couple pedals.
You can't. That's not a recording studio for sale. Recording studio for sale is an empty room that's been designed to record.
Yeah, that would be all their gear from their terrible recording studio for sale.
Does anybody even give a shit about this at all? Except me, Pat. Let's be honest.
Do you attempt the goddamn challenge or not?
All right.
If you were to have a recording studio, if you were wrong about this recording studio business, and somebody called you out and you were immediately doused in gasoline and set on fire, would you backpedal on this podcast?
Absolutely. Well, hey everybody, thanks for listening. Do you want to do a hypothetical before we go?
Enjoy your recording studio at home.
No, I'm not sure. I'm not.
We'll be in our luscious giant. But
now I feel like I need to clarify. I'm not. I am definitely not bad mouthing people's home recording studios. I freaking think that's great.
But you had The Island.
Yeah.
Now, did you consider
That was a recording studio.
recording studio?
Yeah. That was a recording studio, and that was nothing like this, right? That was built in a business complex.
But you built it out
That's true.
for tracking.
Yeah, it's a recording studio because it's a space.
But it's not a traditional
It's a
studio.
room. The recording studio is the room. It's not my console. It wasn't my gear. It wasn't my compressors or EQs or any of that shit. It's the room. It's the space. That's all, I guess. The recording studio has to be the space, not the mics. Huh? We just did a podcast about this topic. It's kind of amazing.
Sure.
All right, everybody. Should we end it now, or should we do another hypothetical?
Let's do one more hypothetical. I like
Do you
these.
want me to read one to you, or you want to do one for me?
I'll do one for you. Let's find a good one. The freewheeling architect. No, that sounds stupid.
I should definitely take these with me to the next podcast I do with someone,
100%.
right? Okay. I've got a couple really cool ones in the works right now. What's that one called?
Stupid, but Earth versus the moon.
Okay.
You have won a prize. The prize has two options. You can choose either, but not both. The first option is a year in Europe with a monthly stipend of $2,000. The second option is 10 minutes on the moon.
And then the question is,
Which option do you select?
oh, that's freaking easy. The moon.
Really?
Oh God, yeah.
The moon?
That's even something you would like debate? Honestly. Dude, 10 minutes on the moon?
I mean,
Are you
think about the
insane?
amount
That
of
would-
training you got to do to get
Oh,
to the
God.
moon.
That's just being lazy, man. Come on.
I figure we could probably be at the moon pretty quick.
Dude, 10 minutes on the moon versus what? Getting paid what I get paid now, plus a couple grand and being in, I don't know, what was it?
Well, you get paid now plus a couple of grand. Christian gets paid $0 a month right now.
I don't know.
It's $2,000 a month for a year, and you live in Europe for a year. You get to go anywhere in Europe for when you get a free $2,000.
No way.
month. I mean, it's not like you can do a whole
I don't even
lot
think it's
with
a good, I
$2,000
think that's
bucks.
probably, I think that's a stupid question.
Okay, let's cut that question out.
I mean, think about it, man.
10 minutes on the moon. I would like to visit the moon for longer than 10 minutes.
Would you like to visit the moon for 0 minutes?
Whoa.
For 0 minutes or 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, this might... Holy shit, this is long.
Oh, I think I know this one. I think I read that one. Yeah, I think I know that one.
The industry standard?
This is weird.
You're inside a very particular rock club. For whatever reason, the manager of this club demands that all his musical acts must take an extensive IQ test before he will allow them to perform. Tonight there are 2 acts on the bill, and they coincidentally share the same band name, the industry standard. Both bands are alleged to be awesome. Sadly, you only have 1 hour to spend at the club due to another obligation. And the intermission between the 2 acts is very long, so you can't watch both. He really covers his bases.
Yeah.
You ask the manager which version of the industry standard you should watch. I have no idea, he says, but I will tell you this. The first band had the highest test scores I've ever seen anywhere. Each member of the band is technically a genius. One guy scored higher than Marilyn von Savant. Conversely, the band playing second had some of the worst scores ever recorded. One member actually might be illiterate. However, I halfway suspect they were all drunk and mocking the entire process. I couldn't tell for sure. Which version of the industry standard do you decide to see?
So they're both equally good.
I guess. It was too long, and my attention span is
Yeah.
I was lost.
Yeah. So I guess at the root of that question is intelligence a factor in art? Like, of course it is, but is intelligence...
Well, they don't know if the second band, they were hammered and they could be mocking them.
Right. I don't think the intelligence thing is relevant whatsoever. I mean, because I have worked with some really smart people that do god-awful music and vice versa, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I've worked with some smart people that do some great music, some genius people, and then some complete moronic people, borderline, I don't want to say anything too bad, but yeah, I don't want to name any names, but they're just emotionally so connected to whatever their art form is that their intelligence level is irrelevant.
Yeah.
And what you hear them do is incredible.
You could end up with that first band is like a terrible math rock band.
I like math rock.
So do I, but it could be the annoying guys that play for, Fish. You could end up with Fish.
Hey,
a lot of scales.
You can't talk and you can't say anything bad about Fish on this podcast, buddy. I have family in that camp, okay?
So basically you end up with someone very annoying.
Short answer is I don't care. I guess if I had to pick one, I'd probably pick the dumb guys.
Yeah, I'd probably pick the bar up the street that has no bands because I don't want to hear music anymore.
Oh. On that note, thank you for listening. Again, your Instagram, Pat, is at Patrick Heaney.
Yep.
And mine's at christian.m.cummings. See you guys soon.
That was the end. I went back just before I coughed. It fades out.
I'll note here, faded cough.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Do me a favor and swing by my website, christiancummings.com. Download some free stuff and sign up for the ATS mailing list if you haven't already. It'll give you access to giveaways, contests, and exclusive content that isn't part of the regular show. Also, thanks to Signature Sound in San Diego for facilitating some of our recordings. And by all means, share this podcast with your friends. Gotta say that. You can also find me on Instagram at christian.m.cummings or on Twitter, Here's Cummings. That's it. Talk to you next episode. Bye.